Well, hello, beautiful people. This is Melody from Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It. And I just wanted to hop on to let you know that even a woman, female, can cook a full course dinner, meal, or however you want to say it, on the grill. In my case, my oven went first, and then the part came in. And then last night we had made BLTs. I always cook my bacon in the oven, and suddenly there was smoke coming from behind it. So I had to have my son shut off the circuit breakers. I don't know how long I'll be without a stove. So, prime example, I'm going to show you how to cook a meal in the summer outside on your grill. So over here I just have some salt, extra virgin olive oil, and some water boiling. You didn't miss much because the meat was a little frozen. Ground beef, lean, and now I just threw some onions in there. In a cast iron pan, I'm just trying to get this one piece. As you can see, there we go. It's starting to break down the rest of the way. So I am going to show you how to cook a meal for your family. I have my son and his girlfriend. So I am going to make dinner out on the grill. Cooking is like super easy for me. I haven't been posting any videos on that because we're in gardening season. And yeah, my oven went and then my stove top went. So, plus it was a little hot last week. I don't think anybody wants to bake or cook inside, but as soon as the weather changes, I'll be putting out all my famous recipes. So, as you can see, I just chopped it all up, put it all in there, and as you can see, I brought everything outside, if you can see that. Don't you want you to see it completely because I want to surprise you on what I'm making. So if you can guess what this is, so I'm going to try to post this right away. What do you think I'm going to turn this into? Well, take your wildest guesses and post it in the comment section below, and we'll see if you're right. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up some green pepper straight out of the garden. A friend of mine told me these were long hots, but they're not. There's one with a little spot on it. I ate one of these. I took a bite of it just to see if it was spicy. It's not. This is the color of them. So it's either a sweet banana pepper, not really sure, but we're going to add that in there. Just cut off the bad spot. And then, folks, we have all of these tomatoes. So, and some spices, extra meat in case it's not enough. So yeah, I'm going to chop this up and then I'll be back. Let's see. I'm going to try to do it this way. Not sure if you can see me. Plus I'm going to try to make sure my phone doesn't fall. So yeah, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Right now I'm just going to chop up some fresh green pepper. We're going to throw it in that bad boy. Omit the seeds. Dry them if you like. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to add the seeds in there, of course. So is it a little bit of a pain in the butt? Yes. But can you make it work by cooking on the grill? Absolutely. So let's get these peppers in there. Nothing fancy. Chop them however you want. I'm just cutting them lengthwise and then cutting them in half. And I will show you what the pan looks like in a second. that's another big reason why I didn't invest in a new camera and audio to post my videos, because I may have to buy a range. And I don't want to buy a camera for YouTube. It's too expensive until this gets rocking and rolling. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash the like button, as everybody says. And make sure your notification bell is on so that you don't miss a video. I had one of my videos get messed up yesterday. So one of the garden tours are out of order. It was okay, I guess. I thought it was lost in outer space. And then I found it. And I found my potato harvest. What had happened was I did a video, garden video, and as I made it to that side, suddenly there was, because it was a total experiment, there was potato on the top of the ground. So I thought that I hit the pause button. Obviously I didn't, and killed my video. So I just tried to upload them as is. So I'm not perfect at this. It's going to probably take me a while, as long as you guys have the patience. As someone said to me when I was questioning about doing a YouTube page, actually it was the Crockers. And I said I'd like to do a YouTube page, but I'm really nervous. And they're such sweet people. They said, well, we all have to start somewhere. Start from the bottom. And I took that advice. Top of that pepper was no good. So I took their advice and just did it. Jason Crocker and his wife, super, super nice people. Basically just said, take a lot of video, do a lot of content, and then upload it. So my uploads might not be the greatest, but that's okay. So let me show you what we have going on here so far. I was chopping the peppers. And here we go. We have some banana sweet peppers, some garden, well, they're both out of the garden. Green pepper, couldn't think for a second there. And now we're going to give that a stir. I was waiting to see if I had enough meat in here. You know, some of us people like our meat. So that's looking pretty good. Now, I am going to turn the flame up just a little bit. Water's starting to boil, so I'm going to turn that down. And we're going to move on to, look at these beautiful garden fresh tomatoes. Oh. So we're going to move on to turning the heat up in this cast iron skillet for the meat, the onions, and the 2 different types of peppers. I am going to chop some tomatoes very quickly. And yeah, let's start putting this together. All right, I'm going to turn you around again. And hopefully you can see me. Hopefully I'm not talking to myself. That wouldn't be good. I even have a little disposable, well, it's not disposable, but it's an Emerald Lagasse cutting board. It's one of those thin ones that just wipe off. Purple tomato. Just going to take the tops off. Cut them in half. And then cut it in half again. And throw it in. We're going to use a big one. thing. Just cut it up, chunk pieces. I throw the juices and everything in. So, almost done the big tomato. I'm going to lose out on those juices. And I think I'm going to add a lot of tomato. So let me chop quickly so you can see what's going on in the onion. So yeah, all these tomatoes that I'm getting, I want to make gravy and can it. And then I never made it, well, I made the gravy before, but I want to make salsa. If anybody knows, can you can salsa? Can you just leave it raw, put it in the fridge? If you know that question, feel free to post it down below. I do have an Instagram page. You can go by my email, which is Melody's Food and Garden Love, or you can just go under Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It under Instagram, and you can follow me on there. I will follow back. I don't think I'll ever get too big for my britches where, you know, I won't follow people back. Let's see. We have enough tomatoes. Give it a stir with this slotted spoon. I'm tripping over my dog. Looking yummy, looking yummy. That's fine if the water keeps boiling. I just have it on a low simmer. And I think, see how it's a little chunky? And I'm going to add some more tomatoes into there. And I still have to add garlic. So back to the chopping block. Let's do, I always put kosher salt in like a little dish like this, keep it on my stove so you can grab it with your fingers. And then you can usually tell how much salt you're putting in instead of using a salt shaker. So let's go with some, what kind of tomatoes, guys? Let's do some big cherry tomatoes. We'll put some of them in there. No worry, they'll cook down. Not really. You can cut them however you want. You can cut them fine. You can cut them medium. I guess you can say I'm leaving mine a little chunky. That's okay. I had some large cherry tomatoes I wanted to use up. They're still good. I just didn't have the time to do anything with them yet. So I don't want them to go to waste. So this is a prime example of what to use some of your tomatoes that are lying around and make your family or yourself a quickie dinner out on the grill. You don't have to heat your house up. And two, not so many people would think, woman that cooks on the grill. I cook on everything. I've been told my whole life I'm a great cook. Passion of mine. I just love it. And I think we have one more tomato to put in there, and that should be good. This is a medium cherry tomato. I'm growing mediums and then the big red cherry tomatoes along with lots of other tomatoes. So let's take a look. This is what it's starting to look like, guys. I can keep the camera on it. So now what you want to do Give it a good stir. I'm going to turn the heat down. I don't want to burn it. I have it, if you can see the flame, like low, medium low. You want I keep moving my phone over to here like you can see. You want the tomatoes to start cooking and breaking down, making a little bit of its own juices. And now, here comes the spices. See if I can do this with one hand. If not, I'm just going to sit you in the usual spot and I'll tell you out loud what I'm putting in each spice as I go along. So let me sit you on the chopping block. And I'm going to add garlic powder. You can eyeball it, but if you want the direct recipe, I will put it on my Instagram, and I would say tablespoon garlic powder. You don't need more than that because I'm going to put some fresh in. I put all my spices in mason jars and I labeled them. Onion powder, same thing. 1 tablespoon, even though we have onion in here. You want it to have lots of flavor. And then we're going to do a little bit of dried Italian spice. I'm just going to pinch that. So if I had to give you the measurement, I would say about a teaspoon and a half of the Italian spice, depending if you like things hot or if you have kids. Don't make it too hot. Some red pepper flakes. I'm just going to do a little tiny pinch. I can get the lid off just for a little extra zing. I already put the salt in, so I'm going to do some cracked black pepper. We like a lot of pepper around here. Usually I grind my pepper and keep it on the stove, but I'm all out, so gotta use the pepper mill. And now we're gonna give it a stir. So that's what it looks like with all the spices. You wanna get it all mixed in. This is a good time to bring out your cast iron pan. Can you see that? Okay. So we just mixed in all the spices. And now, spread it out. Now I want to do some fresh garlic and throw that in there. As I just lost my flip-flop on the grill. Okay, so let's get some fresh garlic out. Smash that bad boy up. So again, you guys are going on the chopping block. Trying to move my mess. Don't forget any of the juice you get from your tomatoes, make sure it goes in. Okay, so now I'm going to peel some garlic. I just like to give it a whack. Hopefully I don't knock you over. Let's see. Got it. Let me give it a whack. Paper comes. I'll show you. You just peel the paper right off. So I'm going to use about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, and if you have a tough end, make sure you cut it off. You don't want that in your food. Maybe bite into it. On to the last one. So yeah, I would probably do a whole thing of garlic, but I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3. This would be 4. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do 4 or 5. Just give it a rough chop. to be anything fancy. Remember, this is a woman who is making dinner out on the grill. I can do it. Anybody can do it. And you men, spice up your marriages or relationships and cook your woman some food. I'm sure that she would be very impressed. Okay, let's chop the garlic in. I actually ended up only doing 4 cloves of garlic. Let me see. Forgot a piece. Okay. And there it is. Garlic's right on the top. And we're going to give it a stir. And what you can do if you're going to carry everything out is put it in a bowl or put it on a tray. Basically what we're looking for, put your ingredients in a bowl or on a tray. I stuck everything in a bowl and just made 2 trips, no big deal. Couldn't find my tray. But basically now, all you're going to do is just give this a mix until the tomatoes start breaking down, which we're going to turn the heat up in a second. You want the peppers and the tomatoes to become a little soft. You don't want the peppers to be too soggy. You want them to have a little bit of a crunch to it. But you want the tomatoes to break down so that you get some of their juices. So, let's turn this bad boy up some. And let me go grab a pot holder. Found an old one. Starting to touch that pan because it is hot. So, now we're going to push it to the back so that the handle's in there. And we turned up the heat. So we're basically, I love this girl. Might be on its last leg though. I don't know, we'll see. So basically turn the handle in. My temperature is past 700. Because I turned the heat up. We're going to let that stew a little bit in the back. And then I will come back when it's just about there. It's not there yet. It is looking yummy. It's making my phone hot. The water is almost to a boil, and I almost forgot something. Almost. Now we're going to take, this is my glorious, well, I have things on the ground, and that's because it usually sits on my grill. But this is that phenomenal basil. And we are going to take ourselves a couple big leaves of what I like to call the wrinkle basil. And then I like to take from around the back. So you even out your plant a little bit. But we're going to do quite a bit of basil. And I am going to take all my basil. I have that pot, this pot. Don't know if you can see that pot over there, full of basil. So I'm planning on making some pesto. Somebody might say, you ain't gonna wash that? I already rinsed that plant off earlier. See what I'm talking about, guys? Do you see that? It's starting to make a liquid. Looking pretty good. Now, let's chop up the basil. So we can get that in there. Let me move my spoon out of the way. And I am going to close the lid. While I chop up the basil. You can chop your basil this way. You can scissor cut it. I don't know if you can see this. I'll hold it up high. But I usually like to roll the basil just like you're rolling a cigar. And then some people call it a chiffonade. That's how I learned to do it. Just roll your basil up like a cigar and just slice it. Gonna do that again for the next piece. I just want to take off that stem. The wrinkly basils, I call it, I honestly do forget the name. They are much bigger pieces. So I chop them up. And I don't think the other basil I'm going to chop up. I think I might just tear it right over the pan. Now if it's enormous leaves, you should probably chop it up. So these are the pieces that are whole. And this is the pieces, can you see that? It's like little strings. That's how you do it. And we're just gonna throw it right in there. Let me get my spoon so we can give it a stir. Ooh, it's getting hot. Feel it on my fingers. So you basically just want to mix. Let me grab this pot holder so I can pull the handle out. There we go. You just basically want to give this a really good stir. I have to keep remembering I'm on a phone and make sure I aim it over top of what I'm doing. So sorry about some of the mistakes I've been making, guys. Just hang in there with me. Hopefully it'll get better as time goes on. So I used to make this for my kids. I have 3. I have never discussed any of that thus far on YouTube, but I have 2 boys and a daughter. My daughter's older. I have a 24-year-old son and a newly 21-year-old son. Irish and Italian, baby. So, my kids like this. It's just something I could think of pretty quick of like, what can I cook outside with not having a stove? And that is looking pretty good. So we just want to close the lid. We want those tomatoes, you can give it a shake. We want the tomatoes to break down a little bit more, create a little bit of juice. In the meantime, what do you think is going in there? You can guess before I post it. Well, I guess that don't make no sense. By the time this gets posted, you'll already know what I'm making. But yeah, so this is my grill. It's my little chopping block, as I call it. I have all my basil down there. This was the other basil. Excuse me, my little dog's out here. I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of dark. It's like grows like a bush. And this basil here, all you have to do is rub it. Smell your fingers. It smells like black licorice. I do not like black licorice. Oh yeah. We have some oregano. So I'm going to grab a little bit of oregano. No need to chop it. This is the oregano. Just grab a couple leaves off. We're going to grab a couple leaves of parsley. We'll give that a rough cut. This is that dwarf basil, which now has some flowers. I'll have to pick that off. But as you can tell, I love my herbs. So we are gonna throw it in, except for, oops, sorry guys, except for the parsley, because it has a stem on it. I'm really anal about my herbs, so I make sure they're watered in the morning, watered in the evening, and then I like to rinse them off so that I don't have to run into the house to rinse my herbs off. Now, let's mix the herbs in. Looking good, looking good. can see, that was probably 2 pounds ground beef. Not a lot. I think the whole package that I had was 4 or 5 pounds. I just split it right in half. As you can see, this is making a great bit. So you can eat a few bowls or plates, or you'll have plenty for your family, or maybe even some left over the next day. Now it's time for the water. Dumped it in there on a quickness, tried to be slick because I didn't exactly want you to see what I was putting in there. Just going to give it a stir. That's looking good. So we are going to push it under, close the lid. In the meantime, while you're waiting, and you don't really have that much to clean up, you can just throw it all in the bowl, just so that you've believed me. Here is my pitcher of water that I rinsed my herbs off with. And I want somebody leaving a comment like, oh my gosh, your herbs are dirty, that's disgusting. No, I rinsed them. But now could be the prime opportunity to put all your stuff. I did have tomato left over. Probably should have thrown it in, but I think we're good. And I just put everything in the bowl so I can carry it in the house a lot easier. It obviously is nighttime here, but I have super bright light, so can kind of function. First I was mad. Look at my Jack and the Beanstalk sunflower. I literally had to take a cable wire, do you see that? And wrap it around it because the trunk is so thick and pull it into the deck. Because when we had 113, 115 degree weather, then what was it, Sunday night, I posted the heat lightning, but there was no noise to it. No rain. Nothing happened on Sunday night. Woke up Monday like, yes, it's going to be pouring. No, it was not. It was another hot, brutal day. So, Tuesday it was, we got a pretty doozy of a storm here, and it knocked a few things over, broke a few things. I'm going to need to get a new owl that guards my one garden. But I pretty much cleaned up everything out here. Table just has a lot of stuff on it because it's from off my grill. And my outback, there were a lot of down tomato plants back there that I had to fix. Obviously you heard my dogs barking. I have 2 Yorkies. The longer skinny one is Coco Chanel. She's a Silky. They just ran. That's part of my living room. And then where's the little one at? So this is Coco Chanel, and that's Sophia Loren. She's a toy Yorkie. I'm not gonna let them out here because they'll just bark anybody that walks by. And I'm trying to cook. So, whoa, my whole pot almost slid. Wasn't sure if anybody saw that or not. The pan actually slid to the back. I thought it was gonna fall over. So yeah, it may seem like it's taken a while, but it's not. It is just about done. We're just gonna wait for the pot to come back up to a boil. Yum, yum, yum. So, gotta wait for the pot to come up to a boil. In the meantime, I will get a strainer. And, yeah. Then we'll put it together. And I'll show you what I made for dinner tonight. Female on a grill. It can be done. Hang tight, guys. Let me get a strainer. I actually had to run in the house to get a measuring cup And I don't know if anyone else uses this, but I do. Comes in a tube. And we are now going to add some to there. So let me set the phone down real quick. I'll turn you this way. You can see. Comes with a little lid. I know you're going to say that is disgusting, but I'm the only one that uses it, so I can lick whatever I want. So I'm going to give this a stir. This is done. Now we're going to mix that in. I'll just put that in there. I'm just going to judge if I need a little bit more, and I may have to pull the pan out some because it is getting hot in here. And now you turn the heat up. And just don't burn yourself. Now what you want to do, take the cup, dip yourself in some of the starch water, and put it right into the pan. So it starts coming together. I think, me personally, I think I'm going to add a little bit more of this. I have to get used to turning it around. I can't get my camera to ever flip over. I don't know why that is. So if you wanted a measurement on this, I would say, a couple teaspoons. I would say a couple tablespoons. Depends on how you like it. I looked at it and decided that I think it needed some more. I don't have fresh cheese in the house, because if I did, it would be on here. See how the consistency is a little bit more thicker? That's from the starch from the water. That time I didn't do a full cup. First time was a full cup, second time half a cup. And you just mix it in. And we're just going to let that go.